Using the power of time travel, you head back to 2004, the year of the heroic Toa Metru, the evil Vaki, and all kinds of other wonderful Bionicle sets. And you realize you can bring back 5 Bionicle sets with you to the present day. So which 5 are you picking? Well, here's my top 5. Will they be the same as yours? In the number 5 spot, I'm picking one of the coolest Toa Metru. It's Vakama. Man, I have fantastic memories of being so excited to get all of the different Toa Metru back in 2004. Yeah, I remember it was actually my birthday and a friend of mine, they bought me Vakama and Onwa. And yeah, given how excited I was, that was easily the best present from that entire birthday party. Yeah, I remember just staring at these canisters for ages on the drive home from that birthday party and thinking, the Toa looked so cool, the world of Metru Nui seemed so new and exciting. It was such good stuff. And even as a kid, Vakama was easily my favorite. That sick disc launcher with the radical flames flaring out of the sides, the striking color of a lovely trans dark red disc. Easily the coolest one, and so much fun to play with. That disc launcher? I played with that a lot. Launching discs, striking down enemies, so fun. So Vakama's mask is, still to this day, one of my all-time favorites. Those unique 4 lines around the mouth area, the way the other parts kind of flare out to the sides, the interesting shape of the eye hole. It's the mask of a leader. It's so dynamic. It's so cool. And look, any image of a Toa of Fire lava surfing on a big rock, that's the best. It made me want to play with these sets so much, seeing images like this. This set had my little child heart, and honestly, it still has my heart today. This is a brilliant set. And Dark Red has never looked better. On to the next spot, this is our number 4 pick, and this one goes to old mate Nivork and Turaga Doom. You know, I love a set that takes a tiny character, in this case Turaga Doom, and then gives him a larger machine or vehicle or a creature, like we see here. I mean, Turaga Doom, who was essentially the main villain for this wave of Bionicle. Well, the Turaga Doom that was secretly Makuta, but you know. Anyway, the idea of a terrifying bird with blades for its wings carrying around a teeny tiny villain who's strapped in as if they're a baby wrapped in some kind of harness around their mother's chest. That's a little bit funny and a little bit silly. Still, the incredible mask of Turaga Doom and the menacing face of the Nivork bird, it is awesome. Yeah, I liked it so much as a kid that I actually took these wings and the rough frame of this set and turned it into this awesome Vizon revamp. So yeah man, the building techniques, the overall design of this dude, really great. And it inspired me as a kid to make a mock, which that's what it's all about, isn't it? In the number 3 spot, we have Kreka. I adore this lovable little doofus. He was such a fun character in the movie, despite the fact that he did look a little bit different in the movie compared to how he looked in the final set. But the toy was a lot of fun. The disc launcher next to the face that could pop up or pop down, that was a really fun play feature that I remember playing with so much. And I loved how they integrated that LEGO system wire piece in white close to the eye where that kind of like scope is. That was very unexpected back in the day. You didn't really see too many system pieces being integrated into Bionicle sets. And then yeah, just them being a really huge, bulky, muscular design of a character. Yeah, I remember it was just so fun to play with him, have him fight Toa, this unstoppable powerhouse up against these slightly tinier Toa. Kreka was just the best. And in the number 2 spot, a set that made Kreka an even better set since these two characters were kind of a bit of a duo, it's Nadiki. And man, as a kid, I loved the comedy duo of Kreka and Nadiki. They were so funny in the Bionicle movie. I would spend ages playing with both of these characters, recreating those moments that I found so funny in the movie. So freaking good. But Nadiki, oh man, look at this sweet spider leg design, these 2 giant pincers for hands. This is one of the most original and creative body designs on any Bionicle character. And the fact that he could also kind of fold over and have a separate form of sorts. This is just good Bionicle design right here. I do have a very fun memory with this toy. I remember waking up on Christmas morning to Kreka under the tree, and that was awesome. I was so excited by that. But I do remember asking my parents for both Kreka and Nadiki on Christmas morning. And look, I was very grateful and very happy to have got Kreka. But there was that small part of me that was like, well, where's Nadiki? What's up with that? So I remember asking my parents and they were like, well, just wait and see. And I was like, what do you mean just wait and see? Then later that day when my grandparents came for like Christmas lunch, in came my granddad with Nadiki in hand. And then the euphoria, the childlike glee as you're like, I have the completed duo at last. I remember enjoying Christmas lunch and then I quickly rushed back and I started building Nadiki. It was good fun. So yeah, good times. All right, before we get to that number 1 spot though, let's talk about some honorable mentions. Toa Whenua is our first one here. I just think he's really cool. Sure, I love Vakama, but Whenua, he has this awesome mask, these cool digging weapons that can even link together. He's just the best. Yeah, I remember before I bought each of the Toa, I was always thinking, oh, Vakama's gonna be my favorite one. And he was. But Whenua was this nice surprise hit that I didn't think would be up there as one of my favorites, but he was. And that was one of those things where you really needed to buy the set to know just how cool it was. It's not that it looked bad on the box, I just remember as a kid being like, yeah, he's okay. I'm excited to get him, but he's not gonna be a standout. But when I started to play with him and had him built, I knew how cool he really was. Easily my second favorite of the Toa Metru. Bordak is the next honorable mention here. Now, I know most of the Vaki are essentially the same thing, slightly different weapons, different color scheme, different eyes, different disc. Otherwise, they're essentially the same toy. But there's something about the color scheme on this dude that I love. Dark blue, that striking kind of orange eye design, and the nice curvature of these weapons. He just stood out and he was the coolest one. Yeah, I remember as a kid thinking it was a bit of a surprise that my favorite out of all of the Vaki was the blue character. Because typically with each wave of Bionicle sets, the green one or the red one, those would be my favorites. But that was not the case with these guys. Even as a kid, I was like, oh wow, that one's my favorite? Cool, that's a bit different. Another surprise hit that I didn't see coming, but I really liked them. Up next we have Vorzak. I remember as a kid, I was in 3rd grade class and someone brought in Vorzak for show and tell. And this was when the sets had just hit the shelves. And I remember he showed everyone the disc launching mechanism, the way you could rearrange the Vaki's limbs so that they had a sort of different form. Seeing the toy up close and personal, oh, I was hooked. I remember I even struggled to concentrate a little bit in class because I kept thinking about how cool this dude's Bionicle was and how much I needed to buy one myself. Good memories. The next honorable mention now goes to a little bit of a strange one. The set number for this set is 65545 and it's called Special Edition Ta Metru Collector's Pack. I mean, look at this. You get Vakama, you get the Matoran known as Nugri, and a book that you can read that'll teach you some Bionicle lore, tell you a nice story. Fantastic. This is an incredible little 3-pack. 3 brilliant combinations of things that are going to give you a real good time. I never saw this in stores, I barely knew this existed until now. But this is just the perfect combination and it makes a brilliant set. If I could travel back in time and get one, I absolutely would. The final honorable mention now, it goes to Ultimate Doom. Now, sure, I've listed Nadiki, as well as Kreka, and also the set Nivok and Doom, which technically this set contains all the pieces for these guys, but you just, instead of building those sets, you build this big combiner model. So technically I probably should have put this in my top 5 picks, then I would have combined 3 spots into 1, and I would have had space for 2 additional things. Yeah, maybe that would have been a good idea. But whenever I look at this set, I'm really just focusing on Ultimate Doom, the character that you build, less so the fact that you get 3 sets in 1. So I'm more looking at this set for purely Ultimate Doom rather than the stuff that's inside. And let's be honest, Ultimate Doom is cool, but he's not that cool. The design is a little dated for 2004. It could certainly be improved today. But I do remember being a kid and looking at this set and thinking it was the coolest thing ever. And the fact that it was called Ultimate Doom, I was like, well, this is the ultimate set. I also remember thinking it would be really cool to actually build this toy, even though I did actually technically have all 3 sets and I could have built it. But I don't know, I was playing too much with those toys and I didn't want to take them apart. Maybe one day I'll build Ultimate Doom and maybe my mind will be changed and I'll think he's a little bit cooler than I currently think he is. It is a good set, don't get me wrong. The teeth around his mask is really cool, the exclusive mask you get in this set is also really cool, and I do really like the posable finger design that he has as well. There's good stuff here, but it's not the greatest design in the world. Still, this set certainly deserves a spot on this list. Alright, but the number 1 spot now, the set that'll be the first one I grab when I time travel back to 2004. This one goes to my boy, Toa Lakan and Kikanello. Dude, there's just something special about a gold armored Toa. I freaking love Takanuva, but I adore Lakan. In the movie, he was so cool. He was a veteran. He was a real hero. I liked that. And this toy, he just looks cool. Those sick, giant silver blades and the way that they also come together to form a large shield, or that shield can be put on his feet and it becomes a lava board. So good. And then he's riding a giant beast. It's just so fitting for a Toa. You know, the classic image of like a royal knight on top of a noble steed. It kind of fits this vibe, doesn't it? And that's not something you see every day on a Bionicle set. And I'm surprised at that, by the way. Toa sometimes look like knights. Why didn't we get more like kind of horse Rahi for them to ride? Although this is more of a like kind of rhinoceros steed thing. Whatever it is, it's funky, it's cool, it's out there, it's different. I like that. The giant like horn sticking out of its head, the way they use some blade pieces to shape its face. Kikanello's so cool. This set had it all, man. So much to love here, and it would be an honor to pick one up back in 2004. So were your picks the same as mine? I'd be very keen to see what you would pick if you time traveled back to 2004. Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks for watching guys, happy building, and bye for now.